Yesterday we discussed the fact that it was the high priest who wore the choshen, the breastplate, and we explained how this is all related to the Kohen's, Aaron Kohen's in particular, heart, his love, his care for everybody else, and that's why he was the one to merit to wear it. I want to focus today on another seemingly much less colorful or much less important garment. We realize that each one of the garments had a specific purpose. Let's take an example. The hat, Yugbat. Every Kohen, the regular Kohen as well as the Kohen Gadol, was wearing a hat. Now there's different opinions exactly how those hats were made of. Suffice just to say, they wore a head cover. Which is interesting. There is no biblical commandment that one must wear a kippah, that one must wear, a head cover. Yet we know that that's the appropriate thing to do. We call a kippah, in the Talmud language, it's called yarmulka. And this comes from the story in the Talmud where during the siege of Jerusalem, a Roman soldier stopped a little boy and asked him, "What is this thing that you wear on your head?" In his innocence, the child says, it's called a yarmulka. What's a yarmulka? Since it's comprised of two words, yare malka, fear of the king. In other words, we recognize, we respect God that is above us, even above our intellect. Man's pride is his intelligence. There is something above us. Now the child, sincere little kid, looks at the soldier, tall soldier, and says, "Where is your yarmulke?" Taken back by this child's sincerity, and he looks up to the sky and says, "Oh, the sky is my kippah. The sky is my head cover." And the child says, "Wow, such a huge kippah for such a tiny little head." In any case, we do see here when the Torah describes the garment of the Kohen, a kippah, a head cover, was the rigueur, was part of it. And so to each garment had a specific purpose. As we said, the choshen, the names of the 12 tribes. The ephod had the 2 tribes, 2 stones. On each one of the stones was engraved 6 of the names of the tribes. And by the way, they corresponded to, each one had 25 letters corresponding to the word koisevochu. 25 represents the godly blessing. But what about the gartel, the avnate, the belt? What was the purpose of this? It wasn't there to support the other garments, because the other garments held up. The pants were holding up without this gartel. What is the idea and the purpose of this belt? And by the way, now if you think that this is a small little belt, that belt had 32 cubits, 32 amos, corresponding to about 96 feet. Close to 30 meters, give and take. Now this is quite a belt. What's the purpose of it? So I'm sure that you've noticed that Hasidic Jews in particular, and many others, when they go daven, when they go pray, it would be any shachas, mincha, mariv, or for that matter, any religious event, a chuppah, circumcision, any event that has of religious nature. Even some will even wear it when they make the kiddush or the havdalah. They will put on a black gartel, a black belt. Now this is not the black belt against the Yetzer Hara, or maybe it is actually. What is the idea of this belt? So there is a Talmudic dictum that when we go pray, we should have a belt to separate the upper part from the body with the lower part of the body. As the Prophet Amos says also, prepare yourself. When you go meet up with God, when you go pray to God, don't just jump in, "Hi God, here I am, I'm ready to pray." No, do some physical act to put ourselves in a frame of mind, submitting ourselves, I'm going to do something serious. I'm going to pray to God. So I am doing something, a gesture, by putting on this belt, as the Talmud says, separating above and the below, to recognize we're going to do something serious. So the Kohen had to wear this belt. And interesting, as I said earlier, 32 cubits. 32 in Hebrew has the word lamed beis, leiv, heart. In other words, his service to Hashem, he should take it seriously, take it to heart, and do it with heart, do it with love. And that's why the importance of this gartel. It was colorful, it was beautiful, and it took a long time to put it on, to put yourself in the proper frame. Eibishter, God, we want to see all these Kohanim with all those garments, and we would like to see it now.